Greetings, Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising. This is your Western forecast for April 2025. You're giving birth to a whole new creative direction, maybe with babies, because the new moon solar eclipse was March the 29th that I discussed a bit in last month's video. This eclipse will repeat every 19 years. It's in Aries, which is a fire sign, compatible with Sagittarius, a fire sign. But this solar eclipse for everybody is trying to initiate new beginnings, new projects, taking the lead. That's the Aries. Now, Aries, and solar eclipses take 30 to 60 days to begin fully manifesting what it's trying to bring new into your life. And the fact that it's in Aries, a solar eclipse brings in something new, but Aries is really driving that point home, because Aries is all about new beginnings. And it's very favorable because it's in a fire sign compatible with Sag. And it's in the 5th house sector from Sagittarius. So the 5th house are going to be the overall themes that's trying to give birth of, and the 5th house is the sector where we look to for children, but giving birth to creative projects. The 5th house of romance, but it can also be sports and recreational activities and entertainment and playfulness. The 5th house is a very pleasurable area of the chart to be highlighted. But there's many ways this 5th house, and you may do them all, you may just do one or two, but let's kind of see how it might be playing out. Mercury went into Aries in your 5th house, middle of March, when it went retrograde. So Mercury retrograde is you're reevaluating, you're rethinking, you're second guessing, you're confused, you're not sure. You've heard all this mantra with Mercury in retrograde. But as we were getting closer to April, Mercury retrograded out of Aries in your 5th house into Pisces in your 4th house. Now it goes direct on April the 7th through the rest of the month. As it's direct, you're having more clarity, more focus of decision making with 4th house matters, because it's Mercury's in Pisces. Pisces is 4 signs past Sagittarius. The 4th house, where you're having a lot of planning and thinking, decisions. 4th house could be property and real estate, could be family. And you could be thinking a lot about your family if this solar eclipse is bringing in a baby. Venus, the planet of creativity and love, went retrograde in Aries in your 5th house, whether it's children, creative, romance, March the 1st, 2025. As we get closer to April, the Venus retrograded out of Pisces, out of Aries into Pisces, into your 4th house sector. But it's retrograde till April the 12th. Testing relationships, reevaluating relationships. Being in the 4th, you could be being really tested and doing a lot of reevaluating family relationships. So the big solar eclipse in Aries, focusing on the 5th house, now we're bringing in the 4th house. That could be family, but you might also be, the 5th house can be creative, 4th house can be home, family, and real estate. And so you might start to really think about, as April is unfolding, is to remodel your home or buy a fixer-upper and, and redesign it, being very creative. But we also have the karmic north node entered into Pisces, into your 4th house of home and family, at the beginning of 2025, about once every 18 to 19 years, and it's there for a year and a half. It is, in hindsight, when we look back to anything that the North Node might have been triggering in your chart, it will feel like it was meant to be a little bit of destiny. But usually when you're in it, you can't really get that sense of destiny unless you're very in tune. But I'm bringing it up because taskmaster, committed, responsible Saturn went into Pisces in March of 2023. And at the end of May, it's going into Aries. Now that's a big deal because Saturn is a 30-year cycle. And for it to leave the Pisces, which is the last sign of the zodiac, and going into the first sign of the zodiac. So Saturn in Pisces is often about transition, dissolving, anxiety, letting go. There's a bit of that everybody's experiencing. And then it goes into action-oriented, assertive Aries at the end of May. So there are big changes, obviously, going on for everybody in the world. But Saturn, all right, back to the North Node. The North Node intensifies and amplifies, and it's aligning with Saturn. So the North Node is about an 18 to 19 year cycle, and the Saturn is about a 30-year cycle. So certainly in Pisces, it's a very rare event, and it's amplifying all this commitment and responsibility, Saturn, focusing on 4th house. Well, a major commitment if you bought a house or having committed to having children and establishing a family. Could also be going into the real estate business. But before I go more into this, describing this giving birth to creative ideas, and it's all this 4th house of family and real estate and property, there's a big clue with Mars. But before I discuss what Mars is bringing into the picture, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. Now, Mars is the warrior planet in mythology. Mars is assertive, it's ambitious, it takes action. Sometimes Mars is too impatient, too argumentative, too selfish. Mars is going into the fire sign of Leo, compatible with Sagittarius, the middle of April for 2 months. In Leo, Mars in Leo is 9 signs past Sagittarius. So before I start breaking down what the 9th house can bring into the picture, you already had clues of this because Mars went into Leo in November 2024. Then it started to slow down and stopped in retrograde in Leo on December the 6th. So all of December, it was slowing down, becoming more sluggish, taking more effort, and feeling more delayed with all your efforts and goals. And as we went into January, the Mars retrograded into Cancer. And Cancer is all this emotional energies. Was in your 8th house. Could be a lot of worry, anxiousness, frustration, over your money matters, paying your bills. But Mars is back into Leo in your 9th house, April the 17th to June the 17th. And like I said, look back to what were your goals, what you were being motivated to accomplish when Mars was in Leo back in November, and then it started becoming more sluggish or difficult in December. So now it's all been kind of reset, you would say, had some space, had to really think about all of this. And now the Mars, now you're ready to take action once again for the next 2 months, April the 17th to June the 17th, with 9th house matters, which is very compatible with Sagittarius. The 9th house, where you could be becoming ambitious and assertive, is getting more professional training or going back to school and getting a degree. The 9th house is media, marketing, publishing, learning about the world, spreading information out to the world. The 9th house with the world in the marketing brings in online business, doing a lot of internet marketing and business. So that goes back to the solar eclipse in the 5th house, could be giving birth to a major new creative direction that, with Mercury, Venus, Saturn, North Node all in the 4th, could be about real estate, could be about family matters. But with the ambitious, assertive Mars in the 9th, maybe it's the marketing, that could be the teaching, or it is the learning, because maybe you want to go into a whole new field of creative design or catering and entertainment. That's all that 4th house of family and home. 2 weeks after the new moon, and it was a new moon solar eclipse on March the 29th, is the full moon in Libra on April the 13th. The full moon brings to light, brings more culmination, reveals what was beginning, the seeds in the new moon solar eclipse. Things are taking time to develop. Maybe things are more hidden. So around the 13th, you're starting to get more clues of what this creative solar eclipse or romantic children's solar eclipse energy is trying to bring in. So the full moon is in Libra. Libra is very sociable and very cooperative energy, but it's 11th signs past Sagittarius. So what's coming to light? What is bringing closure or revealing more of what has been more hidden? The 11th house can be dealing with group activities, organizations, friendships. Could be a much more networking, social time. But I always look at the first thing I think of the 11th house is the future, because it's the 11th house of your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. And so you're now really planting the seeds of the 5th house, which I broke down the various possibilities. By the 13th, you're getting to get this sense of where the future's taking you, or what this eclipse is bringing you into your future. And with that, all that 4th house, it could be around property, domestic matters, family, and then you bring in the solar eclipse in the 5th house. That's romance, that's children, but it's also creative. So are you having a creative business in real estate or home design, home furnishings? That's all that 4th house that you're giving birth to these new projects. And are you really thinking about moving into a new home, because you're thinking about the future of having children. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.